Well, good morning again, and welcome to the second in our readings from the Psalms. And today we're going to look at that great Psalm of David, Psalm 8. So let's read that together. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. From the lips of children and infants you have ordained praise, because of your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him? The Son of Man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the heavenly beings, but crowned him with glory and honour. You made him ruler over the works of your hands. You put everything under his feet, all flocks and herds, and the beasts of the fields, and the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea, and all that swim the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Now, if you're as old as I am, or a bit older, you'll remember maybe a song in 1972. Carly Simon had this song, You're So Vain. You probably think the song is about you. And at the time, there was lots of debate who it's talking about. Was it Warren Beatty or Mick Jagger? But if you read Psalm 8, you could easily think this psalm is about us. It talks about how God made us in his image, crowned us with glory and honour, put everything under our feet, made us ruler over all creation, of all the animals that walk on the land, the birds of the air, the fish of the sea. And you could think this psalm is just about us. But it isn't. It's about God. And you see that at the start and end, where the two ends of the psalm have the same phrase, O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Now, a lot of the Old Testament gets quoted in the New Testament, and this psalm is the same. Jesus quotes the bit about from all children and infants, praise is ordained, when the Pharisees are complaining about the children singing songs about Jesus. And then the book of Hebrews takes that part that talks about how humanity is created with glory and honour, and applies it to Jesus and not about us. Because he talks about how Jesus was made a little lower than a heavenly being. He's talking about his incarnation, and then being raised up and given glory and honour, talking about his resurrection and ascension. And the book of Hebrews applies it to Jesus. You know, there's always a danger that we think that it's all about us when it's all about God. You sometimes, well, I do sometimes hear that people say phrases like, oh, God wouldn't want that for me, as if somehow God is only there for our will and our blessing. But the reality is we're there for his will and his blessing. And sometimes that will mean we go through difficult times. We are in a spiritual battle. And sometimes God, in his blessing, will save us or prevent those things happening. Sometimes he will give us grace and say, my grace is sufficient for you. And even at times, he will allow his people to be martyred. Not because it's our will, because it's his will. And it's for his glory. And that's what we live and serve. His will. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth.